different starting five tonight. Osifo will tip it up and get the Dolphins the basketball as the opening possession's underway, and we're underway here from Swisher Gym.
Yeah, you see they have Tyrese Davis back in the starting lineup as well. He was out with injury.
Tyrese Davis, Jordan Davis, Osifu, Kevion Nolan with the ball, and Rod Brown, the starting five for the Dolphins. On the right side, Davis, down low, Osifu, turnaround jumper, up and good, and he gets him on the board first.
That's a good shot for him. Typically, he's the drop-off guy or crashing the glass, getting it off the rim, but to see him shoot a little fadeaway in the mid-post like that is very good.
Osifo, the transfer from Florida, 6'8" forward. UNCW now with the ball for the first time this afternoon. Jamari Harvey comes onto the right side, guarded by Nolan. Dolphins in a man-to-man, knocked away by Nolan into the hands of Davis. Pass to a driving Rod Brown. Couldn't finish at the basket though.
He has to be able to finish that, and he's one of the most athletic guys on the team, so you expect him to get up on the rim on that layup.
Dolphins couldn't take advantage of the turnover, and so now setting up shop, Jalen Sims, the leading scorer for UNCW and the Seahawks. Sims goes off the dribble on Osifo and drew the foul as he got the step, and he'll go to the line to shoot two.
He created a lot of contact right there, lunging into Osifo, but great move by him, going to the free throw line now.
Sims, 11 and a half a game. He's 20th in the CAA in points per contest, 6th in rebounds. 6'6" senior out of Charlotte. First of the pair, up, and no good off the back iron. Sims an 81% shooter on the year, just his 5th miss in 22 attempts. As quickly into the game comes Big Mike Marsh, and Osifo, after picking up that personal, checks out.
Sims is a big guard, 6'6" point guard, in the range of Lonzo Ball, LaMelo Ball, just those long, lengthy guards.
Puts in the second, splits the pair, 2-1 early. Full court pressure on the inbounds by the Seahawks. Jordan Davis bringing it across the timeline. Davis onto the right side, both teams in a man-to-man out of the gates. Nearly knocked away, but Nolan gets it, fires it up, rattles in and out the three, and the rebound secured by UNCW.
It was a good shot by Nolan. I know he's ready to get back into things after being out so long.
Sims to Harvey. White now, down the right side of the lane. Tough shot, up and good. Strong finish by White, and again, that pressure by the Seahawks. One of the issues the Dolphins have had this year has been taking care of the basketball, over 15 turnovers per game. And UNCW will turn you over. Down low, Mike Marsh sees double, spins away from it, and gets his first points of the day.
And that's one of the Dolphins' strong suits right there, just getting the ball into the post with Mike Marsh. You have Bryce Workman. Those guys, once they get the ball in the low post, it's almost automatic.
There's a reason they call him Big Mike, 6'10", 250, the redshirt sophomore out of South Carolina. Deep three ball, no good. Battle for the board, and the Dolphins secure it. And that'll be another thing, JU keeping UNCW off the offensive glass. They average over 13 offensive rebounds per game, but the Dolphins first in the league in defensive rebound percentage. 83% of the time, they get that rebound.
Not only on the defensive end, JU has been doing very well on the offensive rebounding glass as well. Bryce Workman, Mike Marsh, those guys, they crash in the glass.
Now the other way off the turnover, Sims the Euro step, and he finishes at the basket. Fancy move there by Sims, who's off to a strong start, and the Seahawks regain the lead. Yeah, Dolphins have dominated the boards thus far this year. They've out-rebounded their opponent in every game, nearly turned it over there. And now they do, out of bounds off of Marsh, they'll say, and the ball goes back to the Seahawks. Again, on the rebounding front, JU first in the league with an over +10 rebounding percentage this year, and they're 14th in the country in rebounding margin.
That lets you know what the emphasis is in practice. Crash the glass, you get more scoring opportunities and stop the other team from getting scoring opportunities.
When you're out rebounding SEC opponents, you know you can go get the basketball.
Right.
Seahawks the 1-point lead and the ball. Dolphins trap on the wing. Get it to Harvey though, goes down the lane, right-handed finish, goes and the foul. Megan Baker with that finger roll finish, and he'll go to the free throw line to try and complete the 3-point play. Oh no, did they get the offensive
They got a
foul?
charge, yeah, they got a charge. Bryce Workman stepping in, big guy.
Bryce Workman, who just came in off the bench, starting to pick that up, but they did get the offensive foul, and the other way go the Dolphins. Defensively, JU has been outstanding this year, along with that rebounding prowess. 7th nationally in scoring defense. Here's Workman, and he walked. So Workman gives with the Jacks. They got these Dolphins with the cursive and the green that they wore on Tuesday at Georgia. These are two relatively newly rebranded universities. I have to say, they both look sharp.
They do.
On the blocks. Cut off, Kelly throws it back outside, right back down to him, lost the ball out of bounds to the Dolphins. Great defense by Mike Marsh.
Yeah, you're not going to score too many points down low against us. Most of the time when teams are scoring, it's from the outside perimeter or if it's driving, but posting up is pretty tough.
Jordan Davis now bringing it over the midcourt stripe. So far, the backcourt has stayed intact. Workman and Marsh off the bench for the Dolphins. Nolan down the lane to the basket, couldn't finish. Marsh couldn't secure the rebound as he stepped out of bounds, and that was something that really was prevalent on Tuesday night, Aaron. The Dolphins having trouble finishing at the basket.
Yeah, they struggled, like I said, with Kevion. It was his first game back, as you saw. He just went in. He's still trying to get that rhythm, trying to score some buckets. But as you see, Mike Marsh and Kelly, they just got a warning from the refs talking a little too much to each other, getting a little too physical down there. We'll see how that plays out.
Coach Mincy was trying to calm down the troops a little bit. Sometimes that just a little extra energy on these finishes near the basket, too. Avoided the foul, and then it's going to be an offensive, it looks like, underneath against UNCW. It was Amari Kelly, and he will get called for the foul. And that's another thing that JU's done really well this year, Aaron, is avoiding the fouls, despite the fact they've been so physical defensively.
All right, they're just playing good, shut down, locked in defense, moving their feet, not reaching, getting good block shots. That's all coaching right there.
Yeah, I remember one of our old coaches at my previous institution saying a foul means you're not playing good defense. You're out of position.
Yep.
Davis, right corner three, too strong. And the rebound to UNCW, and now, well, I think they might have gotten that talk again with Marsh and Kelly.
Yep, he caught Mike Marsh.
Coach Mincy is not gonna like that. He is quick to put guys on the bench when he does not feel they are holding their own on the floor. Osifo immediately up off the bench, and Marsh heads to the bench as he gets his first foul.
One thing I'd like to see is Jordan Davis just play with more urgency and consistency. Like, he can go on stretches where he's the best player on the court, but then he disappears and you don't see him again until the second half. So I feel like if he plays consistently strong the whole game, it'll be a different outcome for JU.
Caro now with the ball on the right side, skips it over to Sims, left wing three, too strong. Rebound to the Dolphins. Yeah, there's no question about the potential of Davis. Heaved ahead to Osifo, who got the foul and the bucket. Beautiful dish from Kevion Nolan, and the former Gator finished on the other end.
Great rope passing right there by Kevion Nolan, dropping it right over the defense like a pop ball in the outfield.
You can mark that down as about one of 9 different things, maybe more, that only Kevion Nolan brings to the floor.
Take a lot of experience and confidence to do that, too.
Osifo at the free throw line. Osai is 7 of 10 on the year from the line. He'll complete the three-point play, and as we expected so far, low-scoring affair, just 12 points combined between these two teams through 6 minutes here in Jacksonville. Jamari Thomas with it. He'll go to the left side. The freshman guard throws it into the corner. Dolphins did go to a zone against Georgia in the second half, and it gave the Bulldogs fits. They had 7 empty possessions at one point, but the man-to-man has been very effective again here tonight. Nearly turned it over. Phillips fell to the floor, and it's a walk. Boy, you can just feel the intensity of the Dolphin D.
Yeah, they're definitely locked in right now. The intensity is picking up, trying to get this lead up more than 2 right now.
Davis out. Giassi Powell into the game for the first time.
And number 10 looks good on Giassi Powell.
Yeah, you familiar with it?
Yeah.
Nolan over the midcourt line. Heavily defended by Thomas. Nolan, and he'll get fouled. Another veteran move from Kevion Nolan. He felt that freshman getting up on him and earns the foul.
It's always interesting to see how these rotations play out once injured players come back. Like George Pridgett was starting the whole time Kevion was out, and Tommy Bruner played big minutes as a reserve. So it'll be interesting to see how these rotations play.
Haven't seen either of them thus far through 6.5. Nolan pull up 3 off the mark. Rebounded by the Seahawks. They'll try to push, but Dolphins are back in transition. To the right side. Back it goes to Thomas. Boy, the Dolphins D is just hounding them. They'll settle for the outside look, and Baker misses it. Long rebound, though, tracked down and thrown back out to restart the offensive possession.
Yeah, they're moving, they're talking, sliding their feet, they're switching on defense. They're locked in.
Okaru with that offensive board. Thomas, great move past Jordan Davis. Got hammered, but no foul. Fought through it and got the bucket.
Yeah, nothing easy down there. I'm surprised it wasn't a foul call.
They're letting them play. That ties the game at 7. Strong finish from the freshman out of Greensboro. Down low, Workman. Oh, he might have walked again. Got tied up, and did get the foul.
Yeah. With Bryce Workman, it don't matter how many people on him in the post. He's going to score the ball every time.
So to the free throw line goes Workman, trying to snap the 7-0 tie. You talk about the rotation, Aaron. It's interesting. 9 different starters, 10 guys that are averaging 18 minutes or more. Now, you expect it because, there's really only 3 guys back that saw serious time last year, including Workman, who makes the first free throw with a friendly roll. Then the injury, as you alluded to, at Kevion. But you can tell Coach Mincy's still really trying to figure out what the roles are going to be and what this rotation is going to look like for the Dolphins.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And one good thing about all these guys getting to play minutes early is that when it comes down to the ASUN tournament or ASUN play, all these guys will have experience. So you're not just throwing a freshman out there that hasn't played a lot. These freshmen like George Pridgett, he's had experience, starter experience. So he'll be ready to lead a team if they need it.
Another one you alluded to, Tommy Bruner, who's the leading scorer for USC Upstate last year, comes into the game. We saw Coach Siddle there a moment ago. Coach Siddle in his second year with UNC Wilmington. Now stealing the pass, Jordan Davis. He'll go all the way to the rack and put it in with 2 hands.
There he is. He gets at least one of those steals and wide open dunks a game, at least one.
Little 4-point surge, and with the offense we've seen so far, it feels like an 8-point lead as the Dolphins get a 2-possession advantage. Pull up 3 off the mark. Battle for the board, knocked out of bounds by Baker. Great in the court, along with Baker and Phillips.
This answers one of our rotation questions between George Pridgett and Tommy Bruner. Tommy Bruner was the first one off the bench for the point guard position.
Through the extended zone pressure, but Powell misses the shot, and UNCW secures the rebound. That extended zone has given the Dolphins some issues at times this year. The NCAA game comes to mind here at home, so it'll be interesting to see how the Dolphins respond to that. There they forced a shot and couldn't get the bucket.
Yep, it forces you to shoot the 3 ball, and the Dolphins aren't a strong 3 shooting team. But when they're hot, it looks good. But if you're not a consistent three-point shooting team, you'll struggle at times.
Both teams shoot under 30% from beyond the arc. Thomas had to force it up. Shot clock violation. The hounding D of the Dolphins is causing issues for the Seahawks.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
UNCW substitution. Number 4.
UNCW, they've only attempted 7 shots so far through 9 minutes. That's an interesting stat. They've made everything inside the three-point line and missed everything beyond it. 0 for 4 from downtown. 3 of 3 from inside of it. Right wing Davis over a screen. Jordan goes down low to Bryce Workman, backs his way in, spins, shoots.
Going up.
Got fouled, but he'll go to the line to shoot 2 more.
UNCW foul number 3.
Boy, if they single cover Bryce Workman down low,
It's going to be a long night for them.
they're going to keep feeding him.
Yep.
Guy that put up 30 points last year in a game last year. When he gets going, watch out.
Shooting 2, JU ends up.
Just as far as pure back to the basket, old school moves.
Footwork, everything.
There's not too many you'd find around that have it better than Bryce Workman. He misses on the free throw, though. Bryce's free throw shooting has really been inconsistent. He has such a nice shot, but sometimes he'll go through 8 out of 8 and then 2 out of 8.
Yeah, it's a confidence thing. It gets to you mentally. If you see yourself keep making them, you'll keep making them. But once you see that miss, you try to alter it just a little bit. Now the whole shot's altered.
Hits that one, splits the pair, came in a 71% shooter on the year. That extends the Dolphin lead to 5. UNCW in the midst of a lengthy drought. Down the lane, Sims gets fouled by Marsh, and he'll go to the free throw line. Good job by Sims to drive to the basket and try and get UNCW's offense going. 7 turnovers already for UNCW. That's why they've only shot 7 times.
Yeah, they got to protect the ball if they want to have a chance with the Dolphins, because the Dolphins are going to keep pounding it into the post to Bryce Workman and Mike Marsh. And before you know it, this lead is going to be more than 5.
Sims at the line, first of the pair, up and good. Boy, he's a nice looking player, isn't he? He can hit from the outside, great free throw shooter. Talked about his height, how about his width?
Yeah.
Just a guy that's got a NBA kind of frame with those shoulders.
Exactly.
Averaging 12 points, 6 boards. He's the guy that really makes this offense go.
He puts you in the mind of like a George Hill. I don't know if you know him, NBA player, went to a school in Indiana.
I'm very familiar with him. He cost the Cavs Game 1 of the NBA Finals against the Golden State Warriors.
There you go.
Which caused LeBron James to break his hand that day in the locker room. I'm totally over it. I won't even mention what J.R. Smith did at the end of that game.
You have a true Ohio sports fan here.
Yeah, of course, no one else knows George Hill for that missed free throw.
Right.
He's had a great career. Workman, back outside, Nolan. 2 free throws get the lead down to 3. Halfway through this first half, Bryce Workman dribbling and driving, and he's going to get hit with that arm extended.
It's a little too much right there.
It's not Bryce Workman's game right there, driving down the lane.
Good intentions, but let somebody else feed it to you. Make it nice and simple.
Workman back after he was out with an illness on Tuesday in the game at Georgia. You know, one of the small interesting notes on Tuesday, and Dolphins, I think, they'd say they had a lot they could have done better against Georgia, but they led for a lot of the first half, ended up losing by 11. Coach Tom Crean, who's now won over 400 games, immediately came up to our fan section behind the bench after the game to point out what a great hire Coach Jordan Mincy was. I've been traveling on the road with college basketball teams for 15 years. I've never seen anything quite like that. And from a guy like Crean, who's had so much success,
Right.
a really strong sign of support, an indication of how the college community feels about the hiring of Jordan Mincy. Dolphins were in the zone there. It forced the outside look, and Sims missed it. And the Dolphins go the other way, up by 3. I mean, immediately came right up to our athletic director, our VIP fans who were in attendance, and said, "You guys hired a good one."
Shows the respect Coach Mincy has throughout the college league.
Jumper by Nolan gets the lead back to 5. Well, and the work that he did on Tuesday night.
Right.
Switching to the zone, gave the Bulldogs all kinds of issues, and Dolphins gave Georgia everything they could handle on Tuesday night. Phillips couldn't finish. Gets stripped by Tyrese. Putback won't go. Battle for the board and saved. Good effort there on the baseline. Surprised that Phillips was able to keep that in bounds. Okaru down the right lane. Stripped by Nolan. Other way the Dolphins. Ooh, nearly walked. Saved it onto the right wing.
Good balance right there.
To Tyrese Davis. Down low to Rod Brown. He'll spin, shoot, miss. Rebound Seahawks. Boy, you don't, with Kevion's injury history with those knees, you hate to see him spinning around like that. But he appears to be all right. Harvey down the left lane gets hammered by Nolan. He'll go to the line to shoot too, and you can tell JU that time was a little out of sorts defensively.
Yeah, they haven't really allowed those free drives right there down the lane, but they got out of sorts. But they're forcing the other team to shoot a lot of threes, which they aren't comfortable or very efficient at, which is a good thing defensively for JU.
Kevion immediately huddled him up, now trying to get him fired up and focused. Think he's glad to be back on the floor?
I would be. You missed a lot of games. You only played one, and you only had 4 points the one game you played. Like, you're trying to get back in it.
Missed a lot of games last year, too. Tommy Bruner out, Rod Brown out, Osifo back in. So it's Osifo, Tyrese Davis, Jordan Davis, Bryce Workman, and Kevion Nolan now for the Dolphins. Harvey's second free throw, good. He makes 1 out of 2. Lead down to 4. UNCW has still only made 3 shots in this game.
They're sticking around free throws.
Slow down the Dolphins, bringing it across. Nolan to Davis. Had Osifo, didn't see him. A lot of different defensive looks by UNC Wilmington. They just do a good job of keeping you kind of off balance. Davis couldn't handle a pass at first, but got down the lane, missed the floater, got his own rebound, puts it in with the left hand.
Stuck with it on the offensive glass right there.
These are the kind of buckets you're getting today. Hard-earned baskets. Sims lost it. Look at Tyrese Davis hitting the hardwood. Great hustle, but really decide the ball game.
They all matter. Those 50-50 balls, diving out of bounds with the ball, loose balls, they're going to matter towards the end of the game because every possession matters right now. And as you see, the Dolphins turning over or UNC, they're not being able to get to the glass like they want to. All that's going to matter. And there's another one right there, 50-50 ball.
Davis wins this one. And that's got to be a, oh my goodness. Through the charge, Harvey. Tyrese that says, my bad. I thought that was going to be a block.
Yeah, looked like he was still moving.
I am really surprised at that one. I don't think the replay would hold up well, but I've been wrong before. 16-10. Either way, Tyrese could tell he was a little out of control, but boy, what a good example of what we were just saying. Tyrese wins it with the steal, and then on the other end, UNCW gets backed and earns it right back.
Every possession matters.
And a shot still hasn't been taken. Sims can't finish.
I haven't seen him go left yet. Every move is going to the right.
Still just 3 field goals for UNCW in over 13 minutes. Osifo to Davis, to Nolan. Kevion. He'll take the right wing 3. There we go.
There it is. Welcome back.
Seahawks don't want to see Kevion Nolan get it going because he just saw the ball go through the bucket from beyond the arc for the first time. Sims driving down the lane, dumped down low, and a foul. Good drive and dish.
It's physical out there.
Dolphin foul number 5, Bryce Workman, second personal foul, 17 foul.
They'll send Kadeem Sam to the free throw line to shoot 2. Dolphins have their biggest lead of the day at 19-10. Sam at the line. Just his third game this year. He's only played 2 minutes up off the bench. That's his first free throw of the season for the junior and Garden City Community College transfer. Points have been hard to come by for the Seahawks here today.
Yeah, the Dolphins are locked in defensively. They know that the UNC Wilmington team not a great three-point shooting team, so they're forcing them to shoot 3 points, and they're not making them.
Yeah, the layup by Jamari Thomas at the 12:39 mark. That's the last time UNCW had a basket, over 6 minutes ago. Down low, Davis, beautiful backdoor pass, hoop in the arm, and a chance for a three-point play.
Good backdoor pass right there by Davis, and good score by Davis as well.
I'll tell you what, Rod Brown, who was not really playing that much this year, when he's on the floor, just a lot more athleticism. Him and Davis combined, there's so much movement in and around the basket. You can see how this motion offense could and probably will cause a lot of issues for other teams.
Right, and it makes sense why he starts the game instead of Bryce Workman, because it's a different player out there offensively and defensively.
Right.
On the offensive end, he's not really that go-to guy, but defensively he's able to switch on guards and big men.
Yeah, I love this stat. He's third in the league as Rod Brown in offensive rebounds, even though he's only played 6 games and 19 minutes a game.
And right there he forces a turnover.
Heaved ahead, Davis finishes at the basket. What a pass from Nolan. Brown forces the turnover, and the Dolphins are in a row. This team really mentally stayed together, and I think that's a compliment to the program.
Yeah, definitely. They have the depth this year. They went out and recruited, got a lot of experienced veterans in the transfer portal, so it's a great pickup by the coaching staff.
Davis skying for the rebound. The 10-0 run for Jacksonville stays intact, and now they look to add to their 14-point lead. They are slowly taking complete control of this game. Risky pass from Brown. Got to Osifo, deep three for Nolan. You betcha!
He's feeling it. He's feeling it.
From way downtown, bang. Now make it a 17-point lead and a 13-0 run for the Dolphins. Double on the wing, swung onto the right side. Dolphins, no matter what they've thrown at UNCW, it's been effective. They're all out of sorts. Nolan gets the steal, drops it back to Brown.
Oh, good move.
Couldn't finish after the Euro step. Numbers for Wilmington. Thrown ahead, and they missed it, but then knocked it in. And wait, let's see. No, it's going to be against UNC Wilmington. A technical call, and I think he hung on the rim.
Yep, hung on the rim and waited for it to drop in. Great defensive effort by the Dolphins to get back and contest that dunk. They're not giving up on any play.
They are not giving up anything easy. It finally looked like Wilmington was going to get their first bucket since there was 13 minutes to go in the half. And sure enough, JU wasn't having it.
Yep.
Looked like it was Jordan Davis who came back and got a piece of that dunk attempt.
A great hustle right there.
He already had a chase down block earlier this year that ended up on SportsCenter's top 10. Nolan hits the free throw, and it's an 18-point Jacksonville lead.
UNCW substitution number 3, James Baker.
UNCW is absolutely confounded offensively.
They don't know what to do. Jacksonville has them so confused on the offensive end.
Dolphins got to get it across. They do. Davis hesitates, drives,
Take off,
flies, and hits.
So athletic. That burst of speed, that stutter step at half court got him past Sims to open up the lane for the easy layup.
20-point Dolphin lead, 16-0 run. Seahawks cannot buy a bucket.
This is getting ugly really fast.
Well, when you're missing your best player, you play a lot of what if, you know? What if we would have had them in that game where the Dolphins were leading against UCF? They can't win if you don't score anyways. Yeah. But here today, right, you can. I mean, this defense, you can't win if you don't score, and Jacksonville's just not letting them score.
Yeah, Coach Mincy in practice this week, you could tell there was a sense of urgency after that Georgia game because they felt they should have won that game. They went on a little scoring drought, which caused the deficit, but you could tell they felt like they were supposed to win that game, and the urgency in practice this week is bleeding over into this game.
Had the lead for a lot of the first half, and they went to that zone defense in the second half on Tuesday night against Georgia, and they got 7 empty possessions out of Georgia. Dolphins didn't score during that entire stretch.
Yeah, and that's what hurt them right there. But they come out today, you can tell they've been locked in from the jump, defensively and offensively.
Baker misses back iron, couldn't get a free throw, and they're gonna say it's Seahawk basketball down there in the corner. Good hustle there by UNC Wilmington to get the ball back. Isaiah Brody is checked into the game for the first time, the 6'7" freshman out of Arizona.
And they're real high on him.
And the Dolphins steal the inbounds. I mean, this is one of the more bizarre stat sheets you're going to see at halftime. UNC Wilmington has 3 of 13. They've only shot 13 shots in 17 minutes. Davis, Nolan will take the contested 3
He's
and
feeling
knock
it.
down another.
He's feeling it, and you said it. You can't let that guy get going, and he's going right now.
Third of the half for Kevion Nolan. 23-point Dolphin advantage. Now a 19-0 run. Harvey, beautiful up and under.
Nice
Couldn't
move.
get it to go, but he'll earn a trip to the free throw line.
Very nice move right there.
Coach Mincy doing his best. My guy wasn't moving impression over there on the bench. 2 former collegiate guards in the head coaching seats today. Jordan Mincy went to Kent State. Coach Siddle went to Gardner-Webb. Little known fact that no one cares about Aaron. I broadcasted games both these coaches played in. It kind of makes me feel old.
Oh, experience, wise. There you go.
Coach Mincy in 2007 with Kent State. And back in 2008, 2009, Coach Siddle with Gardner-Webb.
Good to see these young coaches getting a chance to prove that they're capable of doing this, and they're doing a great job at their institution.
And it's been a chess match here today.
Yeah.
But the Dolphins have just figured out all these looks they've been getting, and meanwhile, UNCW finally gets a point, but they still haven't scored a basket in over 10 minutes. Davis, that does snap the 19-0 run. And the block there. Tommy Bruner was trying to drive the baseline. Well, we talked about it before the game. Kevion being Kevion. Well, this is the Kevion Nolan that we have come to expect at JU.
Right, you knew it was coming. He had to knock off the rust against Georgia. They brought him off the bench against Georgia, didn't start. This game he started, and he came ready to play. And he's what we expected.
12 points in 15 minutes for Nolan. He's outscored the Seahawks.
Yeah, that says a lot right there.
Tommy Bruner's second free throw. When Kevion was out, Tommy Bruner really established himself with a nice roll, 9 points per game. He carried them in the UCF game where the Dolphins had the lead with 4 minutes to go down in Orlando.
And that's one of the things Tommy Bruner can bring to this team. Like he's been a starter at the Division I level, averaged almost 14 points a game. So he can score, he can assist, he can lead a team. He has that experience.
Sims went left, couldn't finish, got his own board and bucket, and there it is. With 1:55 to go in the first half, their 4th field goal and their first since the 12:39 mark. And that is I mean, I hate to bemoan it, that is just a really long drought. And a walk on Bruner, great defense there by UNCW to force the turnover. What was it, a 29-point game that someone was held to recently? But here we are, 13 with 90 seconds to go in this first half. Seahawks trying to finish strong. They did just get a bucket. Karu down the lane, blocked away by Brody.
That's that length.
Brody trying to earn more PT, his 5th game of the year here today. I think really highly of the freshman. Game's just been a little too fast for him thus far, and boy, he showed his athleticism on that play.
Yeah, now's the time with Mike Marsh on the bench with fouls. Now's the time for you to earn your minutes.
Backing his way in, turnaround jumper, Baker, air ball. Bruner looking to push. He'll go down the lane all the way to the bucket. Tough shot up, no good. Other way, the Seahawks. Sims spins baseline, beautiful move, and Brody.
He's crafty. To be a big guard like that, he's very crafty.
Well, you look at UNCW, struggling to score the basketball has been a recurring issue. 65 a game, 8th in the league, 10th in the league with a 37% field goal, under 29% from downtown. But they've had some really good performances this year. They beat Coastal Carolina at home earlier this season. And got a road win at Delaware State. But have just really had a tough time getting it going offensively here today. Now George Pritchett in for the first time as Tommy Bruner checks out. Pritchett from starting to now getting his first appearance, and he was another guy like Tommy Bruner that was critical for the Dolphins with Kevion Nolan out with the injury.
Yeah,
he played a really good job.
He played big minutes as a freshman, not having any college experience, coming in to be a starter. Like he played really well as a freshman.
Through that extended zone goes JU. 21-point lead in the ball as we've dipped under a minute to go in this first half. Brody. Davis. Dolphins a little younger and less offense on the floor, and Brody stepped out of bounds. Floater went, but after the turnover.
He was ready to take off baseline. Got ahead of himself on that one.
A lot of experience on the bench right now for JU. Trying to get this game to the half. Osifo, Marsh, and Workman all with 2 fouls.
You can't tell from the way the Dolphins are playing right now either.
Karu over to Phillips. Sims pump fakes, drives, shoots, misses.
They can't finish anything.
No foul, shot clock off.
High pick and roll, get to the basket.
Pritchett off the dribble. Davis has to fire.
One of them, right?
Just like back in the day when you would, right, Aaron?
Yeah, number 18, Florida. Don't forget that.
Guarantee games get paid to go get a check and a win. Down low and appropriately a turnover right out of the gates for the Seahawks after 13 in the first half. Again, they average 10 per game on the year coming in.
Great defense coming out the half right there by JU. They're still locked in, trying to get these turnovers, get the score up a little bit more. Good to see the Dolphins locked in after coming off that loss to Georgia as well.
Jacksonville forces 15 turnovers a game. They have 10 steals per contest, which is second in the A-Sun. Mostly just the suffocating man-to-man D. Davis to Davis. Tyrese down the left side had a great first half. Spins to the basket, really tough shot, too strong, knocked out of bounds by Osifo. And the ball to the Seahawks. Yeah,
Tyrese got out of his comfort zone right there. He's typically a spot-up shooter. If he's open on the outlet pass, he'll score that. But him driving one-on-one, that's kind of out of his comfort zone. 5
points, 4 boards, an assist, and a steal for Davis in the first half. Quietly a really solid first half of action for the Dolphin veteran. Harvey, top of the circle. And wildly threw it away. And again, Dolphins do a good job of avoiding contact in the foul. Jordan Davis finds a streaking Tyrese Davis who couldn't finish, but Osifo does.
And that's that rebounding by the Dolphins right there.
Dolphins have 3 players in the top 6 in the A-Sun in offensive rebounding, and Osifo's one of them. Ooh. Boy, they got Rod Brown for the foul there, and there wasn't much.
Yeah, I hate those calls like that, those ticky-tack fouls right there. Because in the first half, they were letting them play. It was real physical.
That's what I was going to say. I think they've done a good job of giving a little leeway and letting it be a physical game. That was as they like to say, a little bit ticky-tack.
Yeah.
And as they like to say,
ball don't lie.
Ball don't lie.
And for number 13, Tracy White.
It's interesting, you know, some of these rule changes too. The NBA not letting them do the pump fake lean in, which I think everyone's been saying for years, has really changed the game for the better.
Yeah, it has. It's taking it back to that physical style of you have to score the ball.
That's
now.
right.
You can't manipulate the referees into giving you a foul call.
Earn it.
Which James Harden, I mean, you can be mad at him, but he played to the rules.
He played to the rules. That's not the player's fault. I mean, Kevin Love for the Cavs. I mean, oh my gosh, he would jump 7 feet out of his way to get a guy who was flying by.
Exactly.
And it was within the rules. And Davis will miss that pull-up jumper. Tough shot. One of those in the top 7 in offensive rebounds. Ron Brown grabs one there. And a new possession for the Dolphins. Osifo, turnaround jumper. Short. And the Hawks emerge with it. Sims steps into a deep 3 and drills it. Boy, the Seahawks needed to see something like that go in. First three-pointer of the ball game. They had been 0 for, prior to that, 0 for 7 in the first half. Well, still a lot of time to go in this ball game. The defense still staying intense. Okaru is all over it there. Elbow jumper for Davis. Hooping the foul.
And one.
Nothing but nylon from Jordan Davis. And he'll head to the free throw line for another.
That's good sighting from Jordan Davis right there early in the half.
Jordan Davis on the line, shooting 1 for the Dolphins. Substitution.
Davis on the year, 16 of 19, an 84% free throw shooter, leading the team with 10.9 points per game on the season coming into this contest. And he knocks down the free throw to complete the three-point play. The transfer from Middle Tennessee gets the lead back up to 22. Sims goes to the right side. Workman defending. Okaru, pump fake, outside Sims. Well defended, tough baseline jumper, and he got it to go.
That was a good shot right there by Sims, using his height advantage over Jordan Davis, taking him down to the mid-post, just shooting right over him.
Get through that extended zone. It's interesting, I don't know how much Wilmington wants to slow the game down at this point.
Right.
But they are.
Yeah, of course, they're taking JU out of their offensive rhythm, but you need to be scoring the ball as well on the other end.
Workman doing work down low. Another and one for the Dolphins.
You got to know once he gets the ball. It's no passing out once he gets the ball. Just either you're going to double him or you're going to let him score.
I think that's the 5th and one for JU in this ball game. Tyrese has had one, Jordan Davis, Osifo, Workman, just fighting through the contact and going strong to the basket. You know, it'd be interesting to know how you mentioned the intensity that Coach Mincy had this week. Now, granted, it's against an SEC team in a Power 5, but all kinds of trouble finishing at the basket on Tuesday. We're getting really good looks and just not finishing in and around the basket, and it's been a different story here in this game.
Yeah, it's definitely bleeding over into this game, that urgency that he was preaching in practice this week. And you see Bryce Workman right there get the
foul away from the ball.
There it is. But he got the offensive rebound on the other end, scored it, and won. Bryce Workman's a very good post player. He has the footwork, the patience, the soft touch. He has all the intangibles to be a great post player.
Dolphin substitution, number 12,
Mike Marsh back in. He played just 4 minutes with the foul trouble in the first half. And despite that fact, the guy that had 15 and 10, his first double-double against Georgia on Tuesday, Dolphins are up 21 at the half. And they're so much deeper than they've been in the past. 10 guys that play 19 minutes, and they can all really play.
Right. You have Mike Marsh, Osifa, Bryce Workman. You have several big men who are interchangeable right now. So even though they're in foul trouble, you can't really tell.
And there's a guy the Seahawks would love to get going. Okaru with a strong move and finish. Had a very quiet first half. Yeah, 10 guys deep, and Brody hasn't really been playing too much so far, and they think really highly of the freshman. It just goes to show you how many quality players Coach Mincy has brought in such a short period of time. One of them he retained was Kevion Nolan, came out of the portal, back to the Dolphins, and he gets another bucket. He's got 14.
Yeah.
And now Okaru hits another back-to-back buckets for him, and UNCW finally getting their offensive rhythm going.
Right, they're trying to get a rhythm here, but they trying to force some turnovers on this defensive end, take JU out the game.
Nolan fakes the deep three, kicks to Jordan Davis, corner three for Tyrese, and he buries it.
Great ball movement right there. Got the ball in the paint, swung it around the perimeter for an open shot by Tyrese Davis. That's what he's comfortable doing, shooting those kick out threes.
And it starts with Kevion again. Sims misses, again gets his own rebound, can't put it in. Battle for the board. Davis ripped it away. Great rebound by Tyrese.
Tough rebound by Tyrese right there.
Nolan from the JU logo. Off the mark to the left.
Heat check right there from the logo.
Okaru. Stops, spins, got knocked away by Davis. Good job to save the possession to Baker. Sims has the corner three, passed on it. Said he'll drive, and again, the Dolphins' hands. They're just everywhere. Now taken right back, though. Phillips, and 05. He was also the head coach of Georgia and Florida State. He took both to the Final Four. He's actually with our traveling crew at the game at Georgia, and boy, talk about a luminary as he was getting greeted by about everybody in the arena on Tuesday night. Hugh Durham. Mike Marsh backing his way in. Goes strong to the basket and finishes with the up and under left-handed finger roll.
Yeah, the Dolphins big men, you can't single defend them. You're going to have to send somebody else, a guard or somebody, to get the ball out of their hands because they're not passing it, and you know it's going to be a bucket.
Jordan Davis got the foul there to send UNC Wilmington to the free throw line. Yeah, saw Hugh Durham down there on court side. Dee Brown, of course, who works for the Dolphins, the slam dunk champion, up in the house. Of course, the A-Train, Artis Gilmore.
Got a lot of stars in the house
calling
tonight.
The game on the radio. Hall of Famer, the Hoff next to me, Aaron Hardy, about to get inducted officially. A lot of Jake. I see Quint White, the head of MSRI, in the house. He's a legend in the Jacksonville area as well.
Feels like the Staples Center right now. You know how they have all the stars sitting courtside.
All the stars are here, man. The stars are out. I'm probably missing some. There's so many to name. People are excited. They're excited about Coach Mincy and this program. You can feel it. Starting to build. Down low, Big Mike faces up. Now backs his way in. No double comes. He's going to go to work. Spins, up, under, shoots.
You know what's going to happen.
Didn't get the and one, but he'll go to the line to shoot two. Yeah, I'm a little bewildered at the lack of the double. I mean, Mike passes out of it well. He's got 15 assists on the year, but it's just, especially with the Seahawks' lack of size, it's hard to see how they stop guys like Workman and Marsh down low.
Got to come double. Get the ball out of his hands. Make somebody else shoot the ball from the perimeter.
I mean,
but not Kevion Nolan.
If you're lucky enough to go to practice and watch these guys battle, Marsh and Osifo, Osai and Big Mike doing battle down low is pretty fun to watch. And Mike will score on them now.
Yeah.
And I mean, and that's on Osai Osifo. So
they go at it,
who's
man.
One of the best defensive players in the A side. So single coverage on Big Mike, good luck. I mean, he was scoring against Georgia down low.
It's a force.
They have doubled up the Seahawks. What a performance from Jax here in this ball game. 52-26. They're back into that zone now. Trying to get better at it, too. They went to it a lot against Georgia. I think if nothing else, too, Coach Mincy wants them to keep perfecting that. They didn't show that much in the first 6 games of the year, but now they're showing that zone more.
Right, yep. He's pulling out the playbook, getting a little deeper into it, pulling out a lot more offensive sets out of the timeouts as well. I've noticed that. They've been running a lot of plays out of the timeouts.
Funny, too. You talk about how sometimes everything's working offensively. Everything's working defensively. Oh, man, the footwork from Big Mike, getting fancy.
If there are any young kids watching this game and you're playing in the post, please pay attention to the footwork Mike Marsh and Bryce Workman have in the post, the patience. They're putting on the clinic right now.
The throwback big man. Oh, nice offensive rebound. Couldn't finish, though, at the bucket. Phillips, and he gets tied up with Mike. We'll call the jump ball, and the arrow goes to the Dolphins. I was saying, too, that but everything defensively, it feels like Jacksonville's tried. When they've trapped, when they've been in the man, when they've gone to the zone, it's all seemingly worked here in this ball game, and hence the 26 points the Seahawks have. And when Mike and Osai are on the court at the same time, watch out.
Yeah, a lot of offensive rebounds, a lot of low post
matchup issues. Yeah. Threw that one away. And the Dolphins turn it over. They've done a good job of taking care of the ball today. That, and you know, probably coincides with Kevion being back on the floor. That has been one of the issues this year. 15 turnovers per game for Jacksonville. Reared its head on Tuesday at Georgia. Good ball movement there, but Sims can't hit the corner three. Tyrese Davis battling. Boy, these two teams have both come with it. Wilmington hasn't had their best day, I think they'd be the first to admit, but they are still playing hard. Mentioned all the luminaries in attendance for the Dolphins here today as the corner three gets drawn up well but missed. Powell the rebound. We missed one. Yeah. Ben Smith, your former teammate who just got his number retired and is in the Hall of Fame.
My guy right there.
Coaching now, right? Yeah,
they had a tournament in Jacksonville this weekend. His team ended up going 2-1 in the tournament, coming in third place.
Beautiful find from Big Mike to Tyrese Davis, who goes tripling again. 31-point Dolphin lead.
Right when you think you've got the Dolphins figured out and come double the post, he kicks it out for a three.
In the right corner, outside, Okaru, Sims, he'll take that three, off the mark, rebound Davis. Boy, Jacksonville is just clicking on all cylinders right now. Nolan. And knocked out of bounds, stays with Jacksonville. Oglesby has been very aggressive defensively here today.
On that, Tyrese has to go back door. If he's going to overplay like that, just go back door.
Mike gives it up, knocked out of bounds by Okaru. Just so many hands in the passing lanes for both these teams today. They don't make anything easy. Throwback D, you gotta like it. Giassi Powell inbound on the near side as Nolan and Davis get a well-deserved break. Boy, have they played well today. Jordan Davis takes it. Now George Pridgett is checked back in as the three ball goes for Jordan Davis.
Good shot by him. You don't really see him shoot a lot of threes, especially off the dribble.
Just a 30% shooter from downtown. Mentioned the Dolphins as a team are under 30% at 28 on the season. So I'd love to get that perimeter game going more. Oglesby open for the corner three, and he rattles it in. Pridgett to Davis, now to Powell. Back to a 31-point advantage. It was 34 there for a moment. Corner three, good for Pridgett.
Three after three after three.
Starting to rain from downtown here at the beach. Step back from Oglesby. Thought about it, instead they swing it around the perimeter. 34-point Jacksonville lead. Sims, well defended by Rod Brown, couldn't finish. Just so hard to get to the basket.
It is. And Sims is trying. He's been trying all game. He can't get it to go down, or he has two or three people trying to block a shot every time.
The interesting thing about JU's height and length, is they don't block a lot of shots. Osifo and Mike Marsh, I wouldn't really define them as shot blockers.
Right. They just contest very well.
They just contest well, right, that's well said. I mean, right now the leading shot blocker is Jordan Davis on the year with 7.
He's a guard.
Yeah, and Marsh and Osifo only have 1 each. But they just affect so much around the basket. Rod Brown too, and Bryce a bit. They defend without fouling.
Yeah. One-on-one.
He's going to take the elbow jumper. No good. Well, you're doing the Seahawks a favor there. Go down low, big fella. Goes back to UNC Wilmington.
Back into the game for the Dolphins, number 5, Bryce Workman from Mike.
And you're not really getting a let off when Bryce Workman comes in the game, because if he gets into the post, he's going to attack as well. Like we said earlier, we alluded to it, like the depth of this team is so much better than last year.
Well, and you don't see, especially in college basketball today, as much anymore, back to the basket post players.
You don't.
It's just not.
It's usually pick and pop.
Right. Face up, athletic guys, and Workman and Big Mike are just those straight back to the basket guys.
And I think it works to their advantage because teams aren't used to defending that anymore as well.
That's right.
So now you have to come here and defend that. It's like, wait, we haven't been practicing against this.
Well, and I'm sure that's why a lot of teams you're seeing less teams double down low. It's opening things up for teams offensively. It's like, all right, well, beat me with your back to the basket. Well,
that's
the
what
Dolphins will.
Exactly.
They will. Powell has it knocked away into the bench. It stays with Jacksonville.
And for the Dolphins, number 3, Kevin Nolan.
Nolan back in, Pridgett out, Davis back in. Boy, I tell you what, Tyrese Davis has had a really quietly impressive first 8 games for me. Finding a new role, a guy that was a all freshman team pick and was really more of a primary scorer for the Dolphins in the past, and you wondered if he'd be able to find his role, and I think they're all still kind of settling in still, but man, you can start to see how he really fits well with this team. His defense, his perimeter shooting, as Nolan goes up, misses that 3.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can be really, really good on a bad team, but then when you add a lot of talent around you, you have to find that role and niche to where you can still get minutes, and he's done that. He's already a great perimeter shooter. His size allows him to switch on the perimeter as well as play the post, so that's just his role right now on a good team.
And he's gotten so good defensively. His hands are just so present in the lane. He's got such a great awareness defensively on how to affect plays.
I think more is asked of him now on the defensive end.
Yep.
And the defense is all about instincts and effort. That's it, instincts and effort. If he's putting the effort out there and he instinctually knows that, okay, this pass is going to come, let me get a deflection, he's going to be in a great position.
Workman couldn't finish there, sort of an awkward spot in the paint. Well, and you mentioned, being a good player on a bad team. That was one of the early messages as the putback goes up and in for White from Coach Mincy to the guys who are coming back. What's the #1 priority to you? And they said win.
Right.
Well, if you want to win, we got to bring in more guys.
Yeah, you got to sacrifice as well. And Tyrese is a prime example.
Yep. I mean, it's just one of those things early on as Kevion goes tripling again. Nothing but nylon. His 5th of the ball game. 66-31. Make that his 4th from downtown. Where just kind of the smell test of how a team is doing. Looking like they're going to move to 5-3. 35-point lead here. But boy, when you're with UNCW, you never know. Could matter. That point could be critical. It's unlikely, but you got to do your due diligence.
Got to
do the do.
Back to action inside of Swisher Gym. 35-point lead for Jacksonville. UNCW with the ball. Phillips down the right lane. Shot up. Good, and the foul. Strong finish there
Dolphin foul number 10.
by Shaquem Phillips. He'll go to the free throw line and try and complete the 3-point play.
Basket is good. Shaquem Phillips.
Dolphins still doubling up UNCW. 28% after that make. Wilmington on the game. 55% from the field, Jacksonville. Just been completely night and day today. Dolphins are threatening to be out-rebounded for the first time all year. 22-20 right now. UNCW at the edge. Pridgett, tough, top of the key three, and he buries another.
A good sign for him. He's not really a three-point shooter. He's hit two today.
You can just see his confidence growing. 39% on the year from downtown. The shot is developing. It gets it to a 35-point lead again. Sims. It's interesting. Everybody's stuck with their horses. They haven't hit the under 4 from at this point, but it's a 35-point game.
I know your prediction of the score.
It's not right. It's not right. I don't think most predicted a 35-point game.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
The spread was 3
right,
coming in. I mean, UNCW's had a really strong season at times this year. I mean, they beat a good Coastal Carolina team by double digits. Giassi Powell misses the corner 3. Powell's had a tough time from the perimeter this year, coming in just 24%. Sims, basket and the foul. Even after a made basket, there's sort of a look of it.
Oh, we got 30 more points to go.
It's been a frustrating day for the Seahawks. Boy, they look good. I love those jerseys. The warm-ups they had on today.
Yeah, nice.
You can see them on their bench at the end of their bench. Solid brand identity.
Scott, being a former marketing person, he has an eye for things like this.
Well, little known fact that both these teams recently went through a rebrand. They both look sharp. Of course, I have a bias towards the Dolphins. Tyrese over to Powell. 10 to shoot. Onto the zone now have the Seahawks as Pridgett's well short on that shot. Offensive rebound. Workman got stripped going to the basket. They called a timeout falling out of bounds. And the Golden Flashes that won 30 games and had success in the NCAA tournament. Now in his first year as a head coach here in Jacksonville. Dolphins back into the zone. Tommy Bruner is checked back in along with Brody. Corner 3 for Oglesby, too strong. Ooh, Giassi Powell had that rebound go right through his hands. Stays with the Seahawks. 4 minutes remaining flat now here in the second half.
Good to see Brody out there, get some more playing time.
Oglesby knocks down the three-pointer. That gets it back to a 30-point game. Seahawks trying to make sure they break 40. Tommy Bruner in all kinds of trouble. Pridgett's got to get it across. He does. Bruner to Pridgett. Dolphins finally starting to open up their bench a little bit. All guys that did play in the first half. Lofts it into the corner to Bruner. Tough corner 3. Knocks it down.
That's what he can do. We were just talking about it. He's a volume shooter.
That was a hard shot.
It was tough.
Contested.
In the corner, deep in the corner.
Shot clock dwindling down. The reason he led USC upstate in points scored. Dolphins still making it hard to finish around the basket as the ball will go back to JU.
Those are the shots you take in your driveway, your countdown, 3, 2, 1. Those are the ones right there.
Yeah, I didn't usually hit those. That's why you're the Hall of Famer. Bruner, Pridgett.
They always talk about my defensive stuff. They never talk about the 1,200 points that I scored. I was a bucket too.
1,200 points, that didn't come easy. That's no small accomplishment.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, let's talk more about it. I mean, what kind of scorer were you, Spider?
Yeah, I was more of a slasher, mid-range, pull-up guy.
Right.
You know, I shot the 3. I think I had 1 year where I had 40%, but it was just 1 year.
Okay.
Typically was 30%, but
Okay. You are the 19th leading scorer
Top
in
20.
Jacksonville University history.
Top 20, Scott.
1,233 points scored. More than such Jacksonville legends as Gene Martineau, Rex Morgan. Artis Gilmore only played 2 years, though, and he got you.
Yeah, that's why he's an NBA Hall of Famer.
Tommy Bruner out of bounds. Back to the Seahawks. While we've got it out, Ralph Tyner is the all-time leading scorer for the Dolphins. Your teammate, Ben Smith, number 2. You didn't know anybody else in the top 10?
In the top 10? No, not in the top
Ronnie
10.
Murphy, first-round draft pick. Otis Smith. Dick Pruitt.
Yeah.
James Ray. D. Brown falls 12th on the list. He's in attendance here today. Another little known fact, Jacksonville University, one of the very few, maybe the only one, as Bruner gets stripped, dunked in on the other end by Phillips. It had 2 participants from the same school in the slam dunk contest. Do you know who they were?
I know D. Brown was in the slam dunk
And
contest.
I just named the other.
James Ray.
Man, you just disappointed me today.
Who
Ron.
was it?
Otis Smith.
He was in it?
They were both in the slam dunk contest that D. Brown won.
Okay.
With the dab, no-look dunk.
Yeah.
That, of course, made him and the Reebok pump famous.
Did not know that. Dolphin history right
Well,
there.
you how old were you? And were you? I don't think you were alive then, right?
I was born in '88.
That's right about then. I think it was. I think it was after that.
I was still probably in diapers.
Hit on the floor. Let's see. When did D. Brown win the slam dunk contest? Well, I could probably tell you just by looking at his year. It was his rookie year. And he finished JU in 1990, so it was 90-91.
Yeah.
So you were alive.
Yeah. I was just learning to,
You
walk
probably
and
weren't.
talk.
you might have been no-look dunking by then, right? On like a Nerf rim
Yeah,
or something.
there you go.
Yeah. You probably were doing, the
Everybody
dab
has
dunk.
their start,
Yeah. You don't even remember. D. Brown was the guy. We were hearing D. Brown stories on the way back from Georgia, and he's just got so many good ones. Remember, he played with the big 3, with Larry Bird. The starting 5 his rookie year was Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish, Reggie Lewis, and D. Brown.
Yeah.
And they were, and I forgot this, they were 30, I think he said they were 35-6 at the All-Star break. But then that's when Larry Bird started having those back issues.
Right.
And the Bulls passed him, and that was the first year of Jordan.
That's
6.
That's when he took over.
When they beat the Lakers in 5 that year.
You a Jordan or LeBron guy? Putting you on the spot.
Well, from Cleveland, so
Okay.
I certainly have a affinity as Tommy Bruner goes tripling again for LeBron, but no, there's only one Michael Jordan.
Right.
I watched him beat the Cavs a lot in the 80s. It's kind of like the killers like that, that Kobe, that Mamba mentality.
Right.
Nobody has that like Jordan did.
Yeah.
I saw him put up 69 on the Cavs.
He hit
Richmond Coliseum.
that game winner on y'all, right?
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up.
No problem.
Just for the record, they lost in the next round that year, but whatever. Emptying the bench now, so guys getting a chance to check in and get some PT here at the end of this convincing win for the Dolphins. Shot up, good in the foul. Thomas Owen is checked into the game along with Carson Brown. Good to see those guys get some time on the floor.
Definitely. And during this time, Tommy Bruner's caught fire. Hit 2 threes, a pull-up jumper.
Yeah, it's interesting. We talked about it a little bit at the break that, he was such a great fill-in for Kevion Nolan from that volume perspective. But it'll be interesting to see where they kind of find a role for Tommy Bruner now that Kevion Nolan's back.
Yeah, it's tough. Kevion's going to take a lot of those minutes away.
Yeah. Well, it's good to have a crowded backcourt, but George Pridgett's finding time, Giassi Powell. So good problems to have. A lot of capable folks in the backcourt as Bruner gets fouled on the near side. Almost falls into our lap.
Yeah, that's 3 turnovers for him as well, though.
Oh, they did just call that out on Bruner. Shot clock off, 77-48. Dolphins trying to hold them under 50, knocked away by Bruner. Scott Manzi, the voice of the Dolphins, reminding me that Jacksonville held Dartmouth to 37 points 2 years ago in Lowell. Did you guys ever play Dartmouth?
No, we never played Dartmouth.
Conducive for points scored. Yeah. Well, the final seconds ticking away on an absolutely fantastic performance by the Dolphins.